Germans as well, as barbell Vielgas for East Germany and floor exercise.
It's amazing they have all the same haircuts. Triple twist, also some problem on the landings, but stayed in bounds. She doesn't quite complete every position, every movement. An Arabian 1 3/4 somersault. You don't see that too often in women's competition. It's very common in men's. The routines aren't as electrifying here as you'll see in the later rounds. They just don't capture the imagination and the attention. Double twist.
So barbell Vielgas
has done well enough so that they'll be able to drop that 8-9-3-7.
Score on beam, which we were watching by Wang Bo-sil of North Korea, 9-7-2-5, and barbell sets the plaudits of the crowd. And back on the balance beam now, Kim Ok-gum.
In a very pressured situation. It's always tough to be the first up and the last up. It's tough going up anytime, but those two are very critical positions. The first one, of course, sets the pace and that base score that the others build on. But this is your cleanup battle. Two back handsprings to a back pike.
Barbell Vielgas, 9-7-2-5 in floor exercise a moment ago.
Good scores for the East Germans, and we've just seen a fall here for the North Koreans. They could very well increase their lead.
It sounds like I keep harping on it, but it does seem interesting for all of us to note that this young girl is 4 feet 8 inches tall and 68 pounds. Television seems to be a little deceiving.
Oh, she broke on a back walkover. Another very simple move. I think this is a sign of inexperienced gymnasts. They're very young. They didn't compete in Seoul. Their last competition, and only for some of them, was at the World Championships. So it's a lot of pressure, and they're not holding back. They're doing all the tricks, if not more, than anybody else in the competition.
Case of nerves, perhaps?
Nerves. Like I said, they're doing a lot in the routines. They're got as much difficulty as the top-level gymnasts in these competitions.
You're right, Kathy. Typically, the inexperienced gymnasts water back, and they don't do the most difficult exercises. These girls are just blasting through world-class routines.
And they really were an unknown quantity coming here to Stuttgart.
Which is kind of puts them in a perfect position. They have nothing to lose. So I think they just went out and went for it, and it's done them well.
So a little problem there for Kim Ok-gum. And we move now to the fourth and final rotation in this rotation prior to the top 4 teams. The top 4 teams, of course, the Soviet Union, Romania, China, and the United States. Lots more to come from Stuttgart after this. Germany prepares for her second vault now, a score of 9-5-3-7 on her first vault. East Germany continues to be in first place in this rotation, but the story in this rotation, and she missed that pretty badly.
Yeah, not a good vault at all.
Story in this rotation is Canada, who has now moved ahead of this team, North Korea, with Bulgaria in 4th place. Again, we are speaking of this rotation. Still to come, the Soviet Union, Romania, China, and the United States. On floor exercise now, from North Korea, Kim Myung-hwa.
She opens with a full twisting double back. Little stumble on the landing. Full twisting dive roll. It's a nice combination, aerial walkover. They have very beautiful arm and hand movements. Double twist, punch front. Tumbles back the other way. Round off, stretch dump down to her knees. North Koreans have an 8.987 that they're trying to drop, so they really want to hit the rest of the routines here. So far, she's doing quite well. Double tuck. Good landing. Nice routine.
Kathy, let's talk about the scoring criteria now in floor exercise.
Okay, the special requirements for floor exercise. Must do a gymnastics series with 3 elements, 3 leaps or 3 jumps. A gymnastics B, which is a dance element of mid-range difficulty. 3 different tumbling series, and one of the series must have 2 saltos in that series or a D-level salto. A gymnastic acrobatic series connecting dance and gymnastics again, and a B dismount. Of course, we'll be seeing these in these routines. An absence of these special requirements is, again, a 1/10 of a point deduction.
Floor exercise. Kim
Going back out.
Kim Kwang-suk, 4'4", 61 pounds. 15 years old, from North Korea. She actually, in the compulsories, was called back for a curtain call by the audience here at the Hans Martin Schleyer Halle. How often do you see that?
Beautiful middle tumbling pass. She did an alternate through to a double back and then right back with a double twist.
And in fact, just to add to that story for just a moment, she didn't really know what a curtain call was. And so the way she took it was her coach picked her up and put her up on the pedestal and said, okay, this is what a curtain call is. And the crowd responded.
I worry about that now, though, sometimes. They have a rule that says you can't do that anymore. Ever since the '84 Olympic Games, they changed that rule, and you're not really supposed to go back up on the podium. Double tuck dismount. Very good routine for her.
Meanwhile, on bars, but Nicharova, how am I doing with that name? Second time I've had to do it tonight.
Maybe if we have one more shot at it.
Okay.
Beautiful free
Maybe I'll
hit
say
reverse
it backwards
hex.
next time.
Very difficult move, and you don't see many of them. Tracy Talavera did it in the Olympics in '84, but most people do the reverse hex out of a giant. Wow! Full twisted double back dismount. That's tough for a taller gymnast. We've seen some of the little short guys do it, but.
And the score for Kim Kwang-suk, 9-8 on floor exercise. She doesn't look very happy about that. She's saying, I could have done that a little better.
I think she heard you.
And finally, it is Cho Gyung-wee.
They really are pretty gymnasts to watch. The hands, the arms, good form. Another full twisting double back in pike position.
Their technique is so excellent because they don't look like the powerhouses to be able to do the kind of tumbling that they're doing, but they have excellent technique, so they do get the power necessary.
It's a good point, Bart. Double twist to a punch front, tumbles back to a full twisting back handspring. She has the best expression of all. Look at that. Completes every movement to the fullest.
One can only wonder what kind of impact these girls would have had in the Olympics last year in Seoul had the North Koreans shown up there, because, boy, they are impressive.
Oh, this is a beautiful music change. It's very few gymnasts that can work to this type of music and pull it off. Tuck double back. Didn't have much lift on that, but boy, she pulled it around. Beautiful routine.
To the applause of her teammates and a capacity audience here at the Hans Martin Schleyer Halle. That's about the biggest response of the night from any single event so far. Still plenty more to come from the World Championships here in Stuttgart. We'll have more right after this. Surroundings, and here at places like the Schlossgarten, you're just as likely to run into a local as you would be a tourist here for the Gymnastics Championships. Barry Tompkins with Kathy Johnson and Bart Connor. We start the final rotation, the final 4 teams, and you are looking at Sandy Woolsey. Remember, the Americans doing very well after the compulsory stage, in 4th place behind the Chinese, the Romanians, and the Soviets.
All the teams are off to a good start in the first rotation.
Identical scores for Selzhennikova of the Soviet Union on her second vault. So you said it. Same vault, figuratively and literally.
This is Sandy Woolsey of Desert Devils. A triple twist, beautifully done.
And she really made that around, Kathy. It's very difficult to pull all 3 twists.
It's also difficult to keep form in a triple twist, and she really did a good job of that. She did particularly well in the compulsory competition. Best compulsory round I've ever seen her have. Nice middle tumbling run. This is the best I've ever seen Sandy look in any competition. I'd like to see a little bit more extension in the movements. The positions really marking them. Last tumbling run. Double twist punch front. Good finish. Good routine for the Americans.
Been a good discipline for the Americans so far. Sandy Woolsey, obviously she likes it. And we'll see how the judges liked it.
This first tumbling run was really the highlight of her routine. She does a whip back right here through to a triple twist. But boy, she gets it around all the way. Many people have trouble getting that last little 1/8 of a turn in.
This is her last pass.
And of course, we talked about the bonus points. That's really what these top gymnasts are striving to get the bonus so they can score higher than the 9.6. And this is one of the skills that helps her do that. Double twist punch front. She gets a bonus point for the originality of that connection and for it being at the end of her routine.
And now she'll have to wait for her score. Ahead of her, Kim Kelly started it off with a 9.687. Good score for the first competitor, then a 9.75 for Christy Henrik. And now it is Sandy Woolsey who awaits the judge's verdict. 9.825, excellent.
That is going to help the American cause considerably. They've got 3 more gymnasts to go, and building on a 9.825.